read the lines. Gotta.
What up again, is July the voice, and we're back to back with song number 6, and this is deep in the song. Song number 6 that we're going to talk about today is Read the Lines. So Read the Lines is fun because it's a break from the way the album is delivering. Because as you start the album, from the time you begin on the intro, where the story begins, and you hear the background, I'm on the ocean and all the stuff like that, to where you get into the introduction of the album to an album, right? And you start breaking down. There's a lot of the songs is just dynamics after another, right? And Read the Lines kind of like breaks it and goes into a more structured conversation, right? Than where Dominoes kind of started off. Because again, Dominoes ends off with, you think you know, but you don't, right? And which we'll get to that later, right? My wife does that part. We'll talk about that later in the actual song where that comes from, right? So, Read the Lines comes behind, right? And it basically is exactly as the song says, like see more on what's going on here than just the surface stuff, right? Like we're trying to get right behind the situation, right? So Read the Line starts to turn around and bring out different things, right? Different things that's been creating these spirals, different moments that been leading to all these chaotic points, right? Different things that's been creating the confusion or whatever the case may be, right? And then it also gets to the topic of things that are important. There's like bigger things going on, right? Than what we're stuck dealing with right now, right? It's kind of where the focus of Read the Line goes from. Like, hey, that's great, you're doing all of this, right? But don't forget to have perspective and see the bigger pictures going on. And so Read the Line breaks that down and does it in the lyrical way, right? So it brings back a lot more of the lyrical rapping stuff that that I do, right? And so you get the old school, like, because I made the beat for that, right? So Read the Lines is a beat that I made. And then it goes ding, 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 ding. You get the scratches, the mixed voice. Read the lines. And so it was a fun song to make, and it was also freaking difficult. Oh my gosh, that song was difficult. The scratching part alone took 2 hours because I did the scratching edit by like bit by bit. So I chopped up the original recording, and then I made the scratch parts, and then I edited the scratch parts to be in timing. Like I wanted to be like really organic, and then I put those parts behind it, right? So it would line up, and so that that's how you get the scratch songs. That part alone was like 2 hours, right, to turn around and do. The vocal stuff with the la la la, because the beat gave kind of like a jazzy, old school vibe, like real lo-fi. It was a good song to kind of. There's a song in my head that I can't think of right now. That's a good way to describe that, right? But it did that, especially with the ding, ding, ding in the background, little triangle noises going on, right? And so you wanted some kind of like mysterious lyrics, kind of really sell out the old school portion, right? With the background and all that stuff like that, the vocality to it, to really, even out with the lyrical portion. And so, read the lines, there is so much that you find. And so, it was pretty cool. I think it's supposed to be 4 layers. It's 4 layers. I honed each one to a different decibel, and then I put 2 of them with what's kind of like I forget what it's called, but it's kind of like an editing thing onto the voice. It kind of does like a dark voice thing, but then I cut it to where it's not like super dark, otherwise it would sound like so I had to open up the layer of it, and then they're doubled, right? And so that portion is so cool because it leads greatly into the lyrics because the lyrics just kind of like rips through that, right? So you kind of get lulled into where we're going with this, and I get read the lines, you get lulled, and then the lyrics just come in and just start ripping into things. You know, it also has one of my favorite lines that I wrote because there's a part in it, you know, where it's like it's the Grizzlies because they're doing the bare minimum, right? And so it's just I don't know why, but that line came to my mind, and it was pretty funny to kind of put that in there. But I just like the initial way that it breaks down, and just how the ad libs goes and stuff like that. Kind of like push on different parts to emphasize on and everything like that. And you'll see that throughout this. Like a lot of the ad libs are placed in specific ways on purpose. Because again, it's conversations in my head. There's points and stuff and literal emphasis on things. And so the ad lib strategy for a lot of these songs was not to just throw voices behind it. Or, oh yeah, oh, but like it's called in and outs, right? Is what I do a lot. In and outs with my voices. So it's like I like creating atmosphere moments to really like punch in on lyrics, right? And so it's something different about a bar versus if I just say bar 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 versus if there's something behind me going bar 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 bar, like it's like a layer type thing. Pay attention to it more. But read the lines was pretty fun. It did take a heck of a long time to edit that whole thing because there's so many intricate parts and so many different parts. I think it's like 32 stems in total for read the lines. Yes, 32 stems. But it was pretty cool, and I enjoyed it, and I hope you enjoy it too. And again, this has been another Deep in the Song with July and the Voice, and I'll catch you on the next one.